First, let me start by sending our heartfelt sympathies to the family of the nurse. It was quite an unfortunate incident because that's a clear incident where a weapon was used in the wrong way, and to the point where it caused death to a person who was actually on duty and ready to attend to the person who caused his death. Having said that, I think the circumstances under which it happened are still under investigation, though from what I've heard is that the patient was a regular at the place. He was going for clinics regularly. Many things come into play when you think of what could have led or what could have, circumstances that led to the event happening. In as much as the licensing authority licenses someone to have a firearm, sometimes things happen and people go through situations in life and, they become patients in one way or the other, needing psychiatric help or otherwise. I think it is incumbent upon those that know of such a person, and more so the family. I'm insisting on family because a few years back we saw a family of one licensed firearm owner who actually took him to hospital. And, they were bold enough to say that, to the press and everyone, they were bold enough to say that, he should not have a firearm. And that's a direction I think, as a family, the least we can do is, if you know a family member who is licensed as a firearm owner and he starts exhibiting intemperate habits or becomes of unsound mind, then I think before the rest of the world knows, I think the family knows, it would be incumbent upon them to make this information available either to the nearest police station or to the Firearms Licensing Board, and the appropriate action would be taken to stop such an act from happening. Having said that, I think also the facility, the rehabilitation center, has a security apparatus, and I think the minimum they should be, we have seen every other hospital has security and they do very serious searches, and if you're armed there are procedures they follow. And I think it would be, if this facility had taken certain minimum precautions, then that patient would not have gone in with a firearm in the first place. Well, I don't want to speak on behalf of the board, but from what I have seen in the past is that I think they have been quite deliberate about misuse of firearms by licensed firearm owners. And in as much as they license, I think it's imperative now to look at a more robust way of taking care of civilian licensed firearm owners, and not only civilians, but also members of the disciplined force, because you will recall that in the past few years we've had several incidents of members of the disciplined force turning guns on each other, turning guns on their superiors, turning guns on themselves, turning guns on their loved ones. And upon investigation, it is found out that this person actually had a psychiatric related issue. I think it's incumbent upon us as a country to now put in place the necessary mechanism, be it in law or otherwise, in the Firearms Act or in the recruitment procedures to our disciplined forces, that a psychiatric evaluation is undertaken for each and everyone who is expected to handle a firearm. I think that's where we are going. There are several countries in the world that have followed this, and with good results. So I don't see why we should not.
How often should this be, the examination?
I'm not an expert in the field, but I'm sure, like any other, if you look at the work that members of the discipline force have to do on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, I think they can suggest, but I would think perhaps once every year, once every 2 years, just to make sure that, at the same time, we are not just making sure that this person is mentally sound, but we are making sure that members of the public or other people are protected that there is public safety.